From the Mayor's Blog, keeping the residents of Apalachicola informed.
You will first need to chart a course, and at some point along the way, you will need directions. My job here tonight is to help those of you who have decided to steady the course and to encourage the undecided to decide quickly. First, I'd like to address the undecided, if we have any. In doing so, I'm reminded of Charles Dodson, who was a 1865 English author who used the pen name Lewis Carroll to write the fictitious novel titled The Adventures of Alice in Wonderland. One of Dodson's most famous writings, the novel, tells a story of a little girl named Alice who falls down a rabbit hole into a fantasy world populated by non-human creatures that had human characteristics. At one point in the story, Alice came upon a crossroad. Unsure of which road to take, she asked a Cheshire cat. The Cheshire cat answered Alice by asking her where she wanted to go. Alice responded that she didn't much really care. At that point, the Cheshire cat replied, then it really doesn't matter which way you go. You see, if it doesn't matter where you're going, then it won't matter which road you take. Y'all understand what I'm saying? If you don't know where you're going, then it don't matter which road you take. For those of you who know the story, as a result, Alice wandered aimlessly through Wonderland without a specific direction, purpose, or goal. If you don't know where you're going as a traveler in this road of life, you will be just like Alice. You will never reach your destination. Your destination begins with your ability to dream, to set goals, to chart a course, to have hope and vision. In fact, without vision, the book of Proverbs says, the people perish. Now I need you to take a moment to consider what you'd like to accomplish during your lifetime. Set that goal and then pursue it. Once you have done that, you will automatically fall into the next category of young adults who know which direction they are heading and have already charted the course. The next step, and one that will separate you from all others, is having the ability to use persistence and determination as the vehicle that drives your dreams. Persistence will not allow anyone to discourage you or persuade you to do anything differently. And determination is your insurance that will help you reach your destination. If you set your goals as completing college, becoming a lawyer, or the President of the United States, then follow that dream. And don't let anyone tell you otherwise. I'm reminded of one of my life experiences back in 1997 when I made a second attempt for the seat on the Apalachicola Board of City Commissioners. I had just come off an unsuccessful campaign for the same seat 4 years earlier in 1993, where I lost that race by 14 votes. I was persistent and determined to serve the citizens of Apalachicola as one of the commissioners. Therefore, I ran again in 1997. During the qualifying period, I remember receiving a telephone call from one of the former city commissioners who had served on the board several years earlier. The call came in on the last day, and about 30 minutes left to qualify to run in that election. I will never forget what the former commissioner instructed me to do. He told me to switch the seat in which I qualified to run and run in the other seat. There was only two running in that other seat, the incumbent and his challenger who was new to the political arena. The former commissioner reasoned that I couldn't win the seat in which I had qualified to run. There was 5 candidates running for that seat, and I was the only African American. The race included the incumbent, who defeated me by 14 votes during the '83 election, a local business owner, a seafood dealer, and a former state biologist. The mayor at that time was supporting the seafood dealer, and the former city commissioner told me that beating the seafood dealer was like trying to beat the mayor, and that nobody could beat the mayor. I quickly realized that the odds of me winning that election was slim to none. However, I stood steadfast, determined not to be redirected in my goal to serve as commissioner for that seat. The only thing the former commissioner did was to make me turn what was to be an obstacle into an opportunity for me to work hard to achieve my goal and to realize my dream and to fulfill my vision. I went on to win the city commission race, re-elected twice, and eventually elected mayor. When I look back on all the successes that I have experienced over the years, I realized they've been due to my ability to set goals and my determination to see the goals come to fruition. My vision hasn't changed much from those early days. Back then, as a father of 5, I was a strong advocate for youth recreational activities, and I'm just as committed to that goal today. However, because of both determination and persistence as mayor, I'm now in a better position to bring about the goals and visions that I formulated over 16 years ago. What I'm asking you to do tonight is don't be afraid to dream. There's no such thing as an impossible dream. Don't be discouraged. If your dreams are worth pursuing, there will be obstacles along the way. You can count on it. The naysayers in your life will place obstacles in your path to cause you to stumble and fall. You have to realize that that's just part of the process. Used the right way, you can utilize those obstacles and build as building blocks to help reach your goal and not give up. I'm reminded of another story my mother used to tell us growing up. There was a man who was placed inside of this large bell by his tormentors. The tormentors insisted that if the man would denounce Christ, they would let him out. When the man refused to denounce Christ, his tormentors began ringing the bell. The noise inside the bell was extremely loud, but the man held steadfast to his faith until he finally gave up and denounced Christ. However, before they could let him out, the man died. The man died denouncing his Lord and Savior. He was going to die anyway, if only he had persistently held on to his faith and not given up. He was at a point of breakthrough before he gave up. He could have at least died and went on to be with his Savior. Instead, he did the opposite. As I close, I want to leave you with this inspirational thought. Nothing in the world can take place of persistence. Talent will not. Nothing is more common than unsuccessful men with talent. Genius will not. Unrewarded genius is almost a proverb. Education will not. The world is full of educated derelicts. Persistence and determination alone are omnipotent. Good luck in your future endeavor, and thanks for inviting me to address you.